scoreless top of the second. Tonight's Game 2 of the ALDS Guardians-Yankees postponed because of rain, rescheduled for tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. According to a report from ESPN, Commanders owner Dan Snyder, who's facing investigations on multiple fronts, has told associates he used private investigators and other sources to gather dirt on fellow owners, coaches, and executives, and that he won't lose his franchise without a fight, leading to some uncomfortable questions for owners and the league, notes ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
It's either you call out his bluff and say you have nothing on us, or it comes down to how much do you want him out? And how much self-exposure are you willing to go through to force his hand and get him out?
A Commander spokesman denied the private investigator allegations. Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers' thumb injury kept him out of practice today, but it should not affect his status for Sunday's game against the Jets. NBA Pelicans forward Zion Williamson, day-to-day with ankle soreness. Team does not expect him to miss an extended amount of time.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Right now, the Vikings are the best team. They're clearly the best team in the NFC North at this moment.
At this moment.
Okay. And the Packers just lost to the Giants, and they have a game with the Jets. Don't let them lose that game.
It's Friday with Key, J, and Max. It all starts at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Man, we are jam-packed today. Ryan Clark in 15 minutes. Fantasy Blitz later this hour. Our good friend Sean Kelley, the voice of the Florida Gators in his first season. He'll be with us to start next hour, so 1 hour from right now. What to watch. Ross Dellenger is on Rocky Top. He'll be with us in hour 3. Mike Triplett. Man, we are loaded up today. With a ton to get to, and glad to have you hanging out with us here. All right, it is after further review. We're keeping an eye on, keeping an eye out for the Saints injury report, which usually is posted right around the start of the show. The media is now allowed to tweet what they were able to see or who they were able to not see at Saints practice. Notably, yesterday, of course, Jameis Winston returned to practice. It looks like he did again practice today, as he is not listed among those who were not seen. Again, we haven't seen yet the injury report published from the Saints, but our buddy Ross Jackson from Locked On Saints did just tweet a bit ago. Here's a list of the players who he did not see at practice, at least so this would have been during the open portion of practice to the media. Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas, Marshawn Lattimore, Deontay Hardy, Yasir Durant, Peyton Turner. Durant was not on the injury report yesterday. Of note, though, Landry, Thomas, Hardy, 3 of your top 4 receivers were not at practice today. The good news there, clearly, is that Chris Olave was present and is trending toward possibly returning this week, which would be awesome and certainly needed considering. Lattimore not being there is a gigantic concern. The closer we get to this game on Sunday in the Dome against the Bengals, not having your best cornerback at a position where you're already thin, where Paulson Adebo missed the start of the season because of that injury and clearly is not whole. Your second-round draft pick, Alontae Taylor, is on IR. You are thin at cornerback. And so if Marshawn Lattimore is not able to go, and you're looking at Jamar Chase and that whole offense coming in, with Boyd and Higgins, you don't want to be down in your secondary, and the Saints look like, as of right now, they're down their best player in the secondary. So, as much as we've talked about quarterback, and understandably and rightfully so, a lot of these other injuries start to compound that issue. And clearly, with this opponent coming in because of their ability to throw the ball, even though it's been a slower start to the season for Cincinnati, than the way they finished a year ago, it's concerning, clearly. So we'll wait and see when the full injury report comes out. We will go through it. One thing we did see today, and this was news courtesy of, I believe it was Ian Rappaport. It was Ian Rappaport who today tweeted that the Saints have added another running back. So remember, yesterday we talked about the Saints signing Jordan Howard. We all kind of know how this has gone for the Saints at running back. They had Latavius Murray, and he played really well.
Murray, present.
In London, and then he was summarily plucked off the practice squad by Denver. And then Tony Jones Jr. was picked up. The Seahawks placed a waiver claim, and he was plucked away. So the Saints were down a couple of running backs. You've got Alvin Kamara there. You've got Mark Ingram there. Dwayne Washington is there as well. So now you add Jordan Howard, and the Saints did add another running back today to the practice squad, seemingly a replacement for Tony Jones Jr., and that's former Rams running back Jake Funk. So Funk cleared waivers, signing with the Saints on the practice squad. According to Rappaport, Funk had several offers but chose the opportunity with the Saints, which is really encouraging because it kind of tells you that he might have a role. Listen, y'all, I can't sit here and tell you I know a lot about Jake Funk. Okay, he's you go look up his bio. He's 24 years old. He went to college at Maryland. He was a 2021 7th round pick of the Rams. So he was on their Super Bowl team last year. He's only got 2 rushing attempts in his career. He's got 8 kick returns. Primarily, he has been a special team player, but he was on the Rams Super Bowl team last year. I looked up his bio. He's got really nice hair and a winning smile as well. So all those things are very good, but I need this. Muse, I need this. I need Jake Funk in my life. Muse, I need Jake Funk in my life.
You do?
You know what? On this show, I do. I need Jake Funk in my life. On this show, we've gotten lucky, haven't we?
Yeah, we've gotten pretty lucky.
We've gotten lucky in the sense that when Todd Peterson first signed with LSU, before he ever became the famed basher of the baseball, the viral sensation, we were dropping Todd Peterson before he was ever anything.
True.
And then he became awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I have the great fortune of being very close with Cooper Rush.
No, you don't.
And then look at what's happening now.
No, you don't.
He's quarterbacking America's team.
That's happening, but
he's
no,
undefeated right now.
That's true.
It's incredible. My good friend,
Nope.
Cooper Rush.
Stop it.
It's been an incredible... sometimes this show has had good fortune. I love Latavius Murray.
Murray,
he keeps
present.
coming back.
He just keeps coming back over and over. And we just can't get rid of him. We keep using the drop. We are the sole proprietors that are keeping alive the legacy of the HBO show Flight of the Conchords with the Murray present drop.
Yep.
That's it. Play it again.
Only us.
Murray, present.
I need this one. I need Jake Funk. I need Jake Funk so bad. Because this might be it for Latavius Murray and the Saints, right?
Murray.
It looks that way.
It could be.
Yeah, it kind of looks that way.
I mean, Todd Peterson's long gone.
Todd Peterson.
I mean, I need something. I mean, can you imagine? Hey, when I say, hey, Muse, who did the Saints sign today? You got to have the funk. You got to have it. I mean,
no one else.
Imagine the possibilities that the Saints public address crew can have in the Dome when Jake Funk scores a touchdown. Can you imagine what they could call the end zone when Funk scores? Are you feeling it?
I like it.
You know what I mean? Oh, it's so good. People love it. I mean,
I already want to see it happen.
what about, look, let's be honest here. If you're listening, not watching, there's a picture of Jake Funk behind me. Just call it what it is, man. Jake Funk is a Caucasian running back. Are you in the, like, you feeling in the mood?
I'm getting there, man. I like it.
Are you kind of looking at bobbing his head a little bit?
Let's go.
Paulie, are you feeling it too? I mean, you're a Saints guy. Got your Fleur-de-Lis shirt on today.
That one got me.
I got you there. Yeah. No, you know what'll get you there? You know what'll get you there?
What's up?
How about this? Old Jake Funk decides he's going to go take a stroll up St. Charles Avenue under the beautiful oak trees, maybe a streetcar line. Where would he be heading? Oh, where's the rest of it?
Oh.
Give it! Yeah! Give me some moves, Paulie. Let me see it. Yeah! Woo! On! Ah, there it goes! Ah! I mean, this is just too much fun. Wait, where did fucking Cole Medina go? Oh, yeah, thank you.
There. It's right there. I just added a little.
Oh, man. And just because I'm a huge Rage Against the Machine fan, why not?
Oh.
Nope, that's the wrong one.
Yep.
Yeah, you were so close, Muse. You were so close to nailing it.
There we go.
And Jake Funk is dating a Bachelor alum, Hannah Ann Sluss. Look at this. I told you. I told you. He really does have beautiful hair and a winning smile.
He does have good hair. I like his hair a lot, actually.
Take it from someone who has no hair. I know what good hair looks like. He's got it. I tell you, this guy. This guy. Listen, I'm not stupid. I mean, and sometimes in some things I know what Jake Funk is. He's a practice squad player. Hope he gets a couple of reps on special. He's probably never going to be active. But what if he is? Oh, my goodness. Please let that happen. Please! Football gods, let Jake Funk be a great player for the New Orleans. I need this one. I need it, Muse. I need it. This could be the next one that carries us for years and years, similar to Todd Peterson.
Todd Peterson.
Okay, it's
what
after
would be the drop, though?
I don't know.
All of that. All of it?
All of the things that I just said.
Yeah, okay.
Hey, Jake Funk scored a touchdown and got to... Every time.
It's good. I like it.
Oh, it's not good.
It's great.
It's good.
It's good.
Good. All right, it's after further review. We'll talk to Ryan Clark next.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Buy local, shop local, and remember this Saturday at the Siegen location, it is the Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So, great opportunity to get by Clegg's Nursery and get those trees this Saturday. Again, the Siegen location only from 8 to 1. It's the Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree at Clegg's on Siegen. For every Baton Rouge Green approved tree that is sold, Clegg's will donate to Baton Rouge Green. You can ask their tree experts questions. You can stock up for tree planting season. They will have native and rare species. This is the time, y'all. It is tree planting season, and the Baton Rouge Green Tree Spree is going down Saturday at Clegg's Nursery on Siegen.
They said I was small, weak, said my heart wasn't strong enough. But I showed them what heart looked like, again and again and again. Mom got me the right care, the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Don't let people tell you who you are. Show them the right card, the right care.
At Corbell
Toyota in Opelousas, we're happy to say we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corvell Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corvell Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Shop, Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah!
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
A little change of schedule. RC is traveling, so he's going to bump 15 minutes. So RC is going to come up in the next segment. Then we'll do our Fantasy Blitz. And to start hour 2, Sean Kelley, a great friend, man. Sean Kelley, radio voice of the, a longtime radio voice of the Pelicans, who's now the radio voice of the Florida Gators, replacing legendary radio voice there, Mick Hubert. So we're looking forward to having Sean back on the show, as he's been a friend of the show for a long, long time. But we'll get to talk about LSU and the Gators coming up, so looking forward to that. Man, one of the unfortunate parts of LSU's loss this past weekend to Tennessee is there are oftentimes bets that go down, like in NFL locker rooms. So, of course, Alvin Kamara, who was a Tennessee Vol after being a member of the Alabama Crimson Tide, he had a deal with former LSU great Tyran Mathieu, and that meant with Tennessee's win that one of the greatest players in LSU history, the Honey Badger, number 7 Heisman finalist, was rocking an orange Tennessee. What do we call that?
A hoodie.
No, that's not a hoodie.
That is.
No. A hoodie is a sweatshirt with a hood. That's not a hoodie. That doesn't even have sleeves. That's an orange vest.
I thought the white sleeves were part of it. It was just two-tone.
Look at it. Look at it closely.
Is it not?
No, that's not two-tone.
Oh, God, yeah, I don't know what that is.
Well, unless if I'm mistaken, let me see.
That's what I thought originally. Was it a
let me see if
sweatshirt?
I can get a, well, hang on. I'm trying to pause this. Let me see if I can scroll this back a little bit. Boy, it's hard to tell.
It is.
Maybe it is two-tone.
I'm going to say that's a two-tone hoodie. That's what I'm going to say.
That would be way better than that being a vest
Yeah.
with a hood. I've never seen a vest with a hood. By the way, how do we feel collectively about vests? Like I'm not talking about
a sweater vest or a...
Well, not a sweater vest, but like a vest. Like a vest that, you
Like
can
with a
buy
suit?
it like at the... No, not with a suit, but like something that you buy at like... at the backpacker or something. Like that,
I got you.
Those fluffy, squishy vests.
Sure. Why not? Yeah, I don't own one, but yeah, they're popular.
Okay. Not a sweater vest. Not a sweater vest. What would are those just called vests?
Yeah, it's just a vest. I got what you're talking about now, though.
Yeah.
Like the puffy ones to keep you warm.
Yeah, but see, here's my thing with them. I need my arms covered.
That's why I don't have one.
I don't get it.
I don't either.
And by the way, I was given one with the 104.5 ESPN logo on it. And it's very nice. I mean, the material is very nice. And it's that part is warm, but my arms are freezing. I think hunters wear these a lot. I think Flynn Foster, our president CEO, is an avid duck hunter. Maybe gifted them. And it's lovely. It's very warm. Oh, I have a Hudco one. I have a Hudco roofing one of those vests. And all the guys, the crews,
They're
and all,
very
they wear them. And I'm like, trust me, I'm not the guy you want on your roof. I can make the phones ring, but I ain't the one you want out there like looking at shingles and all that sort of stuff. But all the guys who are those guys, the manly men guys, they're the ones who wear those vests. I don't know, this Tyran Mathieu thing has me a little. Wouldn't you think he would just be in like a jersey or something or a t-shirt? I don't know.
I don't know. I think you shouldn't agree to something like that, but that's just me. Take someone out to dinner. Bet dinner. Don't.
That's less expensive. I mean, it does live on in perpetuity on the internet.
Yeah.
With Tyran Mathieu wearing orange stuff, but look, man, you got to pay.
Tyran's good for it though. The dinner.
Yeah, you pay up your debts. You know what I mean? You pay your debts. It's what it is. So good on him, man. It was a 2-point line. It wasn't like he bet some outlandish thing. But you rep your school. So good on you, Tyran. Good on you for owning it, though. All right, to after further review, we're glad to have you aboard with us here. We're brought to you by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138 for Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank and vinyl siding, but most importantly, it's the service. We always talk about experience, quality, and service. They've got tons of experience doing all those install jobs. They measure twice, install once. The quality of what they sell from the Geldwin wood windows. I mean, wood windows with a lifetime warranty. That's incredible to even say. A lot of people live in neighborhoods that HOA requires wood windows. Instead of replacing them every 5 to 7 years, how about getting a lifetime warranty on your wood windows? Call Relief Windows. They can help. And, of course, they'll never take $1 from you until the work is finished and you're thrilled with the work they're doing. That's Relief Windows. 288-8138, 288-8138. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. All right, it's after further review. So RC's coming up in less than 10 minutes from right now. Really good sports night tonight. You got 2 college football games, including a good one, Baylor and West Virginia. I think that's a tasty Big 12 matchup. I'm excited to see it. You got an NFL game, which I hope doesn't stink like last week's Thursday night football game, which was absolutely brutal. And then you got some baseball tonight. One, I guess, note that you probably have seen right now that the Yankees-Guardians game, because of inclement weather in the Bronx and the threat of bad weather all night, they have postponed Game 2 until tomorrow. So you'll have a day game tomorrow at 1:07 Eastern, so 12:07 Central Time for Game 2 between the Guardians and the Yankees. So, it's okay, Paul. Don't worry about it. So, so sustained inclement weather, no game tonight with Yankees and Guardians. Game 2, they'll play tomorrow. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. We do it every day. Well, a little later than this, but let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Kentucky Wildcats.
Mark Stoops provided an encouraging update on quarterback Will Levis. Stoops says that he does expect Levis to play Saturday against 16th-ranked Mississippi State, barring any setbacks. Levis has been in a walking boot after sustaining a foot injury in the loss at Ole Miss. It was Kaius Sharon making his first career start in place of injured Levis in the loss to South Carolina.
The Florida Gators.
Adam Mielek, the redshirt freshman kicker, is a story worth watching this week for LSU as they head to Gainesville. He has made just 2 of his last 6 field goals over a 3-game stretch. Mielek opened the season with 3 consecutive conversions, including a 50-yarder against Kentucky. But since then, boy, he has really fallen off. Billy Napier said he has 100% confidence in his kicker. Trey Smack is a true freshman who's handling kickoffs, but apparently they're going to stick with Mielek as the place kicker. But that is certainly something worth watching this weekend as LSU heads to Gainesville if the Gators continue to struggle on special teams.
The Auburn Tigers.
And Auburn senior Alan Flanagan returned to basketball practice Wednesday following a 2-week absence for what Bruce Pearl called a personal family matter. Tigers opened the season against George Mason on November the 7th. Flanagan's a 6'6 wing. He's played in 80 career games for Auburn the last 3 seasons. He did test the NBA draft waters, ultimately decided to return to the Plains for his senior season. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you get at Gulf Coast Office Products, an official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers, celebrating 20 years, as a matter of fact, as an official office equipment provider of LSU athletics. So, LSU, the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, the ULL Raging Cajuns. By the way, shout out, Cajuns got a nice win last night on a Wednesday Night Football up at Marshall. Gulf Coast Office Products, gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. All right, it is after further review. By the way, so Ryan Clark's coming up here in just a minute. After this break, we'll get to Fantasy Blitz. Should I feel bad about yelling at Hunt? Or I didn't even really yell at him. I just kind of cursed at him a little bit and told him to get the F out of here and threw all of his papers everywhere as he was walking out. Should I feel bad about that? Like you all witnessed it. Should I feel bad?
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
No.
So Hunt Palmer, who is a dear friend and has been for a long time. Like I adore Hunt. I sincerely mean that. But he wore a Bengals shirt today. Just I guess he thought he was just going to troll me. But he's exactly the person this week that I hate. He's the person that I hate this week. Like he's the guy or whoever that I fear is going to go into the dome and make a lot of noise and try to neutralize a home crowd. And Hunt said, well, I thought he said, how many Bengals fans do you think are going to be in the dome? And I said, none. He goes, well, you said they'll neutralize the crowd. I said, yeah, because of, and I used an expletive, like you, who aren't Bengals fans, who are just wearing Bengals shirts because LSU guys play for that team. Bleep you. And I threw his papers everywhere. And that roll of paper towels. And I threw a water bottle at him as well because he leaves his crap in here every day. So I finally had enough. And I was like, hey, man, your mama don't work out. I threw his papers at him. I threw his water bottle at him. I just threw everything over there. Like when I used to throw the chair when I would get upset.
I remember that.
That's what happened. Was it uncomfortable for you two?
With the chair?
No, with me and Hunt just now.
Oh, no, I was fine.
Paul? Were you uncomfortable?
No, I was in the middle of
Get out.
Look, he's right there.
Get out. I didn't welcome you back in here. Your show's over. I got a break and we got Ryan Clark. And don't come back. It's look, from 3 to 6. I'm serious. You can piss me off again. Hunt just walked in here with his Bengals shirt. You can piss me off again. And if you come back in here with that shirt one more time during my show, your show's over. Yeah, cover it up. All right. Go put on an LSU shirt. Why don't you make a pick based on the weather again? Goofball. It's after further review. Ryan Clark's next.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darin James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
I thought you forgot. You were slow on the draw. For years, I've told you about Darin James. You know what? And I've read so many of these reviews, and I'm going to not read one today. I'm just going to tell you about Darin James. And I've told you this story before, but I'm going to tell it again. In 2014, when Drew was born and we were in the hospital in Houston, Drew had just had heart surgery, and it was Thanksgiving Day. We spent Thanksgiving in the hospital. And our whole family was here, and they called to the bedside. They said, you know, Matt, you have a visitor. Who's visiting us in Houston on Thanksgiving Day? I walked out. It was Darin. Darin and his family lives in Katy, Texas. On Thanksgiving morning, he drove to Texas Children's Hospital just to hand me a little gift and to say Happy Thanksgiving, and then drove back to be with his family. That's Darin James. That's the guy who goes to work for you. That's my friend. 335-7666 or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darin James.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Before we begin any electrical work here, we perform a home safety check that begins at your electrical panel to make sure that you and your family are safe. For all your upgrades, installations, and repairs, call Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelley's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. It's time to talk Tigers with former LSU safety Ryan Clark. Presented by DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today.
All right, we welcome aboard Ryan Clark. How are you, RC?
I'm doing well right now. Just traveling the world with 2 Florida Gators, man.
Oh, no.
That's pretty much what I'm doing right now.
All right, so obviously you're referring to Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder, your co-hosts of The Pivot. Are you all going to record an episode somewhere right now?
Yeah, man, we just got 2 in. We got something special coming for y'all. We're actually headed to do. I'm in the airport. Excuse the lady talking right over my head. Apparently America's team has a really big game on Sunday, so we're gonna stop by, maybe talk to. Maybe it's kind of like the next reincarnation of Lawrence Taylor and some cornerback that catches a lot of footballs. We don't know yet, though. You just never know what might pop up on the Pivot tomorrow.
I thought you were going to tell me Cooper Rush.
Hell no.
Hey, are y'all going to make a Pivot bet? Like when LSU beats Florida, those 2 chumps have to wear LSU shirts or something like that?
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
Excuse me, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, are we going to make a Pivot bet? Matt Moscona, I'm on the radio right now. And he asked, are we going to make a bet on the Florida LSU game?
Oh, for sure. 100%.
100%?
Florida, by the way.
Okay, so if we win, you have to wear LSU gear on the next episode we film and vice versa.
I like it.
You like it?
All right.
All right. Channing says he's in, man.
Yeah.
So we're good to go.
What about Freddie Flowers?
Well, Freddie Flowers is getting Chick-fil-A right now, so I can't ask him.
Well, just remind Freddie about 1997 and the night the goalpost came down, and how your mom saw that in a dream and all that stuff, and then that'll be good.
I would tell him.
Hey,
sure.
RC, for real though, I mean, last week was so bad. It just didn't go like I think any of us thought it would. That not that Tennessee would win, but that it would be so one-sided. What happened?
Hey, Matt, you remember I was listening to your show last Thursday.
Oh, thanks.
Guy came on at about 3:15.
Oh.
Apparently extremely handsome.
Yes.
At least this is what the people are saying.
Well dressed, nice suits.
Well dressed, nice suits.
Yes.
Host a really good podcast.
Yep.
Yep. But I mentioned last week, man, how important it was to stop the big play. I said, the LSU Tigers had to keep the football in front of them and make the Tennessee Volunteers drive the ball down the field, give them opportunities to make mistakes. And they didn't do that. The way Hendon was able to push the ball down the sideline, big plays in the secondary, you can't beat good football teams playing that way. You also can't beat them when you can't keep them off your quarterback and the quarterback's not getting the football out of his hands. And you have a guy who was considered coming into the season a top 10 pick, at least talent-wise, and he's not getting the football either. So it was a lot to be desired from that outing last week, and it's even hard to pinpoint what one thing held the team back.
Hey, do you think that this matchup against Florida specifically is a better matchup for the LSU defense than last week?
I think it's a better matchup in the sense of what they do offensively is different. What they do offensively is a little slower, a little more physical. AR-15 isn't pushing the football down the field like we saw Hendon do last week. And so I think that's different and that helps. But they also present their own differences and their own matchup struggles, in their own way. I think the physicality that they can play with on both sides of the offensive and defensive line, the play calling of Billy Napier and allowing, his playmakers to make plays, putting the football in his quarterback hand, giving him run-pass options. And also defensively, you saw last week, a guy like Jaden Hill making big plays and scoring touchdowns. And, too, they have my favorite defensive back coach in the world over there. And so I'm slightly torn, at least on some possessions. And so, when you look at everything that's going on, I think Florida presents a tough matchup, but I believe Tennessee, in the way that they approached the game, and especially schematically, was a little more difficult for the roster of LSU last week.
Yeah, and Ryan Clark's with us on Twitter at RealRClark25. Of course, check out The Pivot, YouTube, or however you get your podcast. Big episode will drop tomorrow, as you just hinted at there. By the way, RC, belated happy birthday. I was thinking about.
Thank you.
I was yesterday. I was thinking about a couple of years ago when you came in, when snacks over everything was ruling. We gave you a whole box of honey buns. It doesn't even feel like you eat honey buns anymore.
You know what? I don't, man. I'm just actually fat, bro. And it's not coming off me the way it used to. 43, 841. And you have to accept that. I still eat snacks though. It's the one thing I still do. I just try to take it a little slow, and I'm not encouraging other people to be fat with me anymore.
RC, you're not fat. I am a fat guy. This is what happens when you're athletically gifted like you are with good genetics, and then you're me. I eat a honey bun and I gain 6 pounds. Anyway, we don't need to keep going down that path. But anyway, belated happy birthday.
Thank you,
hope
brother.
you had a great day.
Yes, sir.
I did want to ask one more. Is this a game against Florida for LSU where this would stand to reason that this would be a big game for LSU's fast, athletic linebackers at the line of scrimmage? Do you see it that way?
I do, but I also think this is a game that tests their physicality. When you look at Florida, what they do at the running back position is diverse, right? Different guys present different matchups, but I think their quarterback is so dynamic. I think he's physical. I think he's big. He puts you in the mind of Cam Newton, probably not that caliber of player, but that style a player, those type of abilities, and the way they call the game is very similar to that. And so if this is a game where you have to run and hit, but also be able to go downhill and compete with the physicality in which the run game presents.
Flip it over offensively, RC. Look, we're at the halfway point of the season, and the passing offense hasn't gotten going. Is there any realistic reason to believe that at some point it'll click and it'll start humming?
No.
I don't know. That stinks, right? So what do you do?
I think it needs a load of creativity. I do. I think it needs rub routes and mesh routes and stacks and bunches and, different things to allow guys to get free based on schematics. I'm not sure how much you watch the Kansas City Chiefs. They do so much to help guys get open. And obviously Patrick Mahomes is one of the best that's ever played the game from a talent standpoint at the position, but they give him easy throws. They allow him to have guys run wide open. And then every throw isn't forced. Every throw doesn't have to be pinpoint. And I don't think we do that. I also think Jaden has to be better. Jaden has to get the football out of his hand. Jaden has to locate the matchups where LSU can win and should win and give the guys opportunities on 50-50 balls that are catchable. And so I think it's a full team thing that has to improve, and maybe it can, but I don't know if you can just change a scheme and start to implement things automatically that you aren't used to doing as a coordinator.
Y'all follow RC on Twitter, of course. Make sure you subscribe up to the Pivot. Our conversations with RC are brought to you by DraftKings, official sports betting partner of the NFL. So, RC, you mentioned that you got a little teaser with what's coming up tomorrow on the Pivot. Is that what you're going to record right now?
Yeah. We actually just landed in Dallas. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We started the morning. I started the morning in Louisiana. Made a little stop in Houston, and now we're in Dallas.
Are you going on to Palo Alto?
No, that's next week actually.
Oh, they got a bye this weekend.
Yep, Jordan
good.
is home. Jordan is home this week. He'll get to come see the family, hang out a little bit, and we're going to miss Palo Alto though because we do have another child that still lives in the house, who will have homecoming.
That's awesome.
Dad and mom have to be there for that.
That's awesome. RC, we always appreciate it, man. Thanks for making time, especially the airport. Safe travels, man. We'll talk next week.
My man, have a great day, brother.
All right, RC, be well. That's Ryan Clark, courtesy of DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Make sure you use the promo code Baton Rouge when you download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. We appreciate our partners at DraftKings here for helping us bring you the Ryan Clark conversation every single week. All right, it is After Further Review, brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. Call 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com. I'm thrilled with my results. I'm not sending you to someone that I wouldn't trust. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons I put off LASIK for a lot of years was I was scared of putting a laser on my eye, quite honestly. I mean, I'll be very candid with you. But Dr. Blake Williamson was so reassuring and made me feel comfortable with the whole process. I actually learned that LASIK is statistically the safest elective procedure in the history of mankind. So that gave me just great comfort and confidence. And I am thrilled. More than 4 years after LASIK, still seeing better than 20/20, and it's life-changing. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEYE.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Fantasy Blitz, Darin Tietgen from whotostart.com is going to jump aboard with us. Before you set your fantasy football roster, make sure you check with the guys over at whotostart.com. That's whotostart.com. So Darin Tietgen is going to jump aboard with us next. If you have fantasy football questions, get them in. Email us, Matt at 1045ESPN.com. Tweet us at Matt Moscona. Jump in the
Hey, Twitter world.
Thank you, Juice. Jump in the Buy Forward YouTube chat or text us in the 225 at 396-4400, 396-4400. Our Fantasy Blitz is next.
AFR.
We got Gordon. Now, you should as well. Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. We're thrilled to be part of the G team here at AFR, and we encourage you to do the same thing. If you have been injured in a wreck, make the right call. Get Gordon and get it done. Just like Gordon has been so invested in so much of our community locally. So many Tiger athletes have been part of the G team as well. As you know, the whole women's basketball team, and then guys like Squirrel Burrell, and then, man, tons of tons of Tiger football players as well. Listen, Gordon's everywhere. I mean, you've seen him everywhere. You've heard him everywhere. If it's social media, if it's billboards, if it's radio, if it's TV, One thing I'll tell you that I know definitively about Gordon McKernan, getting to know him over the last year, genuinely good man who loves his community, loves his family, good Christian man who wants to help people, and certainly has helped a ton of student athletes as well. I'm proud to be part of the G team, and I would encourage you to do the same. So you know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. After further review, this is the Fantasy Football Blitz.
Do you know who I am?
Powered by whotostart.com.
Who the hell are you?
whotostart.com.
You
The Fantasy Football Blitz.
Who the pickings?
This is the Fantasy Football Blitz, powered by whotostart.com on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 104.5ESPN.com.
All right, let's get it. Week 6 of the NFL season kicks off tonight. Before you set your fantasy football roster, check with our guys at whotostart.com. Darin Tietgen joins us right now to answer your fantasy football questions. D, we appreciate it, man. How are you?
I am well. How about you guys?
Man, we're doing awesome. Hoping for a better game tonight than last week, which was brutal. I don't know if with the Bears we're going to see anything better, but here's hoping. All right, anything tonight worth watching from a fantasy perspective?
Can I say not really?
No, yeah, sure. I mean, honesty is the best policy. Don't lie.
Yeah.
Commanders, Bears. What I do.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
It's kind of a stinker, but yeah, we'll be looking for a couple of things. It looks like Carson Wentz has kind of a bum arm, but has been throwing well in practice. So it looks like Jahan Dotson is going to sit again. So if you're looking for a sleeper wide receiver, maybe De'Ami Brown. He may not catch 2 long touchdowns like he did last week, but he'll be targeted more.
Sleepers for the week.
Yeah, we've actually got another commander, Brian Robinson, the running back from Alabama, who was shot over the off season. Terrible news there, but it looks like he's healed, and look for him to get some more carries against a Bears front that gives up quite a few yards on the ground. So maybe he's a sleeper running back for you here this week. And then on the wide receiver side, old man Randall Cobb. Looks like Aaron Rodgers start to look in his way a little bit more as the season develops. So we like the matchup this week for the Packers passing game, and Randall Cobb stands to benefit the most.
All right, let's get your questions in for Darin. Fire away. Let's start with Rusty. You said, Darin, what's your opinion? When is Jonathan Taylor going to wake up and produce like a first-round pick? Should I look to trade him away?
No, I think at this point, you're probably not going to get true value out of him because somebody's just going to try to lowball you. So best to just hold on to him. Looks like he got a limited practice in today, so hopefully that's upgraded to a full practice tomorrow so we could give it a go against Jacksonville at home this weekend. So I would hold him.
Here's one on Twitter from a Twitter handle I'm not even going to try to pronounce. It said, should I start Chicago's defense tonight or play Denver's defense on Monday?
I think Chicago's actually a sleeper defense this week. The Commanders do give up quite a few sacks. Look for a couple of turnovers as well. So the Thursday night games are pretty messy, so that sometimes favors the fantasy defense. So Chicago is actually a good play tonight.
Nathan Hodge says, who to start? Hey, is George Pickens a reliable flex option in PPR leagues?
I'm not going to say he's reliable, but he's definitely better than he was with Trubisky at the helm. Looks like Kenny Pickett certainly likes the fellow rookie and look for his targets to increase. So maybe not the greatest matchup this week, but as a flex, yeah, he's worthy to play.
Charlie Cox says who to start. He's got 2 flex spots. He's got Gabe Davis, Taysom Hill, and David Montgomery.
I'd go with Davis, definitely. It looks like him and Josh Allen are locked on. And, man, the flavor of the week, last week at least, was Taysom Hill and his kind of Swiss Army knife abilities. And I think if a good thing is going there, why mess with it? So I would play him, especially if you get him as a tight end, where it sounds like it's a flex play. But if you could play him at tight end, even better. But, yeah, good, solid play for Hill this week.
Chris Fontenot, who to start, full point PPR league, said needs 2 of these 4. He's got Pollard, Mooney, KJ Osborne, or Bateman, obviously if he plays.
Yeah, I like Bateman if he plays. If he doesn't play, maybe you're looking to Osborne as a sleeper, but I think you're definitely playing Pollard. Just so much upside with for the big play there, and he is catching the ball out of the backfield for the Cowboys. So Pollard for sure.
Darin Tietgen is with us, who2start.com. It's the numeral 2, who2start.com. Remember, use the code ESPN. They'll give you 10% off. You get all your fantasy football questions answered as you set your roster. This one's from Cameron Cook, who to start. He's got Curtis Samuel, Christian Kirk, and Jacoby Myers. He needs 2 of those 3, and it's a non-PPR league. So it's Curtis Samuel, Christian Kirk, Jacoby Myers.
I think you're playing Samuel and Myers there just based on the non-PPR. You look for the ability to score a touchdown, and Samuel, the Commanders do throw the ball well deep, and that Bear defense can be thrown deep on. So look for a long touchdown to Samuel tonight, possibly. And then Myers has kind of established himself as the number 1 receiver for the Patriots. So even if it is Bailey Zappi that's going to be taking balls under center, I think Myers is your play as well.
Mike Genovese, who to start at flex? He's got Adam Thielen or Keenan Allen. Who to start?
Yeah, I haven't heard if Allen's even playing. I know that his leg is doing better, but I think until he logs full practices, I think I would set him on the bench.
He is Darin Tietgen, who2start.com. The numeral 2. Actually, there's one more. Gosh, do I have time to get it in? We're really short on time. I got to get back to it. My apologies. Here we go. Who to start? Full point PPR. He's got Njoku, Dobbs, and Pollard. Needs 2 for the flex spot.
I'm sitting Njoku. Go with the other guys.
Darin Tietgen, who2start.com. Use the numeral 2. And again, promo code ESPN to save 10%. You get all of your fantasy football questions answered as you set your roster. All right, Darin, we appreciate it, man. Enjoy the football weekend.
All right, you too. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Be well. We appreciate it as always. Darin's been a part of the show for about 10 years doing that segment, and it's always popular, and we appreciate him. We appreciate you. All right, hour number 2 is coming right up. We're headed to Gainesville. We'll talk to the voice of the Gators, Sean Kelley, next on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about the aesthetic medicine and anti-aging clinics of Louisiana. I'll be there tomorrow, and so much of it really just depends on what you're looking to do. You want to feel better? They can help. Hormone replacement therapy could be an option. It was for me about 5 years ago, and I feel great. You go once a week, get an injection, no appointment needed. You walk in. I'm in and out in 5 minutes. It's affordable. It's safe. You're under the watchful care of a medical doctor, Dr. Todd Howell, to check your labs every 6 months to make sure everything is working as it should. And those blood labs are great anyway because what it also do is check your organ function and levels with a variety of things to see what's going on with your body. It's a great habit to be in, to have your twice a year labs anyway. At the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, medical-grade supplements. Maybe it's face creams. Maybe it's other procedures like PRP with microneedling, the vampire facial, the PRP for hair restoration, a non-surgical option. They've got them for you. TheAntiAgingClinics.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. From Houston, it is Game 2 of the American League Division Series. Dylan Moore with the go-ahead RBI single. Mariners leading the Astros 2-1, top of the fifth. Tonight's Game 2 of the ALDS for the Guardians and Yankees postponed because of rain, rescheduled for tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. ESPN's reporting Commanders owner Dan Snyder, facing investigations on multiple fronts, has told associates he's used private investigators and other sources to gather dirt on fellow owners, coaches, and executives, and that he will not lose his franchise without a fight. ESPN investigative reporter Don Van Natta Jr. explains how these latest allegations impact the NFL.
It really is going to come down, guys, to the tolerance of the other owners. It's going to be a test of their tolerance of these kind of comments and the fact that a partner has allegedly dug up dirt on them and is prepared to use it if need be, if his back is against the wall to keep his franchise.
Don Van Natta Jr. on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. A Commanders spokesman has denied the private investigator allegations.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
Right now, the Vikings are the best team. They're clearly the best team in the NFC North at this moment. Right? Okay. And the Packers just lost to the Giants, and they have a game with the Jets. Don't let them lose that game.
It's Friday with Key, J, and Max. It all starts at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. And Matt, I am sweating. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Ross Dellinger, 1 hour from right now from Rocky Top. Mike Triplett next hour as well. A ton to get to right now, though. Let's head down to Gainesville.
The Tigers are on the hunt. Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
All right, welcome aboard our good friend, Sean Kelley, in his first year as the voice of the Gators, replacing legendary Mick Hubert, who retired after last season. Of course, Sean was radio voice of the Pels for a long time, recently with ESPN. Of course, now the radio voice of the Florida Gators. Sean, it's a pleasure, man. Great to talk. How are you?
Man, long time no talk to you. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
How's it going, man?
I'm learning and adjusting to new colors. But so far, so good. No, it's been fun. The people have been great. I can get around town now without the use of my phone. That's a victory in itself. And the Eastern time zone, by the way, sucks. Can I just say that?
We're so spoiled, man. We're so spoiled in the Central time zone. Hey, man, let's talk a little bit about the game. You've every call I've heard, you've done great, man. So it's great to hear your voice. Halfway through the first season under Billy Napier, what's the mood around the program?
Cautious optimism, I think. The record's fine, 4-2. Your two losses are very respectable. One's to Tennessee and one's to Kentucky. And, look, the wins haven't been very pretty, but we've learned that Billy Napier's team is going to be in it basically every game. It'll be interesting 2 weeks from now against Georgia, but this is a team that, I think is entertaining enough that they have the ability to play with anyone in the country, and they can win or they can lose. And it hinges seemingly on one possession, maybe even a couple of plays. So it's clear as to what Napier needs on this roster moving forward. And I think that it's also clear that there's some talent here that's developed under him, and that he has benefited from the transfer portal in a couple of key spots.
Among them certainly would be on the offensive line. So that running game figures to be a big part of this, and namely Anthony Richardson, who I want to talk about. Sean, so many people saw him and how dynamic he was in that upset over Utah. And then there's been times where it's just looked a little off. Any ideas to why that they've struggled to find that consistency with him, if you even think that that's a fair characterization?
No, I think it is. I think actually this weekend is the inconsistency bowl, frankly, between the Tigers and the Gators. But Anthony is the off-the-bus All-American. He has all the tools. He looks the part. He really can sling it, But I think that his inexperience has been on display. Yes, we saw him last year, certainly at Tiger Stadium in the second half of that football game, but really never a start. He had one start under his belt. It was against the eventual national champ. So I think there's a couple of things here. One, I think he had to learn how to be a starter. And then here over the last couple of weeks, he's now, I think, getting the hang of preparing for a start. Two different things. And he's had to try and master that against pretty good competition. Whittingham and the Utes week one, Stoop, defensive mind with Kentucky, obviously the Tennessee situation. That didn't help. I mean, he didn't ease into this thing. He's got to be better at valuing the football. I think that he'll get better at, the progressions. And however long Florida has him, we're drafting more on potential than ever before in the NFL. So is he here just for this season? What will he look like at the end? I think Gator fans would love for him to learn this job this season and then really flourish next. But, I think a lot of us figure that he might not be here. He might be an NFL guy just because of, again, the tools that he possesses.
It's certainly fair to say that the turnovers have come in the last handful of weeks, sort of in bunches. The 7 interceptions have been a contributing factor. What has been, Sean? It's fair to say this offensive line, that would be the strength of the offense. When the running game has gone well, how has it looked? Why has it worked?
It's that offensive line that starts with that. I think that there's a bit of a road grader mentality there. Torrance kind of leads the way. He's arguably the best guard in the country. Transfers from Louisiana with Napier. Unfortunately, he's questionable for Saturday's game. We'll see how that plays out. But everybody else in that line had played together a little bit. And so there's a collective mindset with them. And they can do just about anything you ask them to do. They can zone block. They can counter pretty well, too. When they have a mobile quarterback like Richardson, it keeps some of those linebackers and the guys on the edge honest. It creates maybe some mismatches in that sense. And then this running back by committee thing, Matt, has been remarkable. And now really carrying the load are the two young guys, Montrell Johnson, who came over from Louisiana, De La Salle guy, and then, of course, the younger brother of Travis Etienne, Trevor, the freshman out of Jennings, has been dynamite. And I saw it in camp, and I thought to myself, obviously he's not as good as his older brother, but he might be better as a freshman than his older brother was, and that was kind of scary. Could he pick up the blocking concepts? He has, and they're both patient runners enough. They both have different styles in that Montrell would just assume try and run it through your sternum. Etienne wants to make you miss. And then Naquan Wright, the veteran of that group, when he's on the field, he might be the smartest guy on the field both sides of the ball. So that's worked. All that has to work in concert together, and that's why, their numbers are really, really strong in that run game.
Sean Kelley is our guest. He's on Twitter at Sean Kelley Live. I want to flip it over and talk a little bit about that Florida defense. I look at the run statistics, and they're not good, but I know they have good players in that front seven. So where is that disconnect coming from? What the statistics look like and what we know are some good players in that defensive front seven.
Well, I think you're being somewhat kind. Those numbers are not good; they're bad. The defensive numbers are horrendous. If you look at where they rank in FBS, they've gotten gashed. There's no doubt about that. And you're right. The dilemma here is there's some good guys. Right in the middle, there's Ventrell Miller. I think he's going to be an NFL guy. But they're young and inexperienced up front. They've tried different things to the nose guard, including Big Mr. Watson, who is down to 405 pounds. That's scary. And he serves a certain purpose. And there's just not a whole lot of depth there. The frontline guys are probably okay, but to ask them to play every snap is unrealistic. You see the drop-off, especially if Ventrell's not in there or a Brenton Cox, per se. They're better now on the corners that Hill has returned finally from injury. And on the back end, they're experienced, but I wouldn't call those elite safeties. No offense to Rashad Torrance or Trey Dean, but Billy Napier would want me to throw eye discipline out there. Since most of America don't really know what eye discipline is in football, I'll spare you that. And I would say that there's been some problems against teams that like to counter. Gap discipline, I think you and I can get our arms around that one.
Oh, yeah.
And also, because you're not as good on the back end, are you playing a little soft and have to give some space, and that space allows teams to get to a second level, and then you're a missed tackle or a great offensive move away from a chunk play. So if you throw all that in the pot together, that's kind of the takeaway on the Florida rush defense.
If LSU does have success offensively, and Sean, that's been hardly a given this year, but if they do have success offensively on Saturday, how do you think it looks?
They convert on third down at any time they want. Florida's giving up a third down conversion percentage of 60.6%. That's 125th in the country. So teams have racked up play numbers. I mean, just sheer number of plays. Last weekend, how many times Florida should have gotten off the field? Missouri's like in a third 19, and lo and behold, they convert. Chunk plays, 50-plus plays this season of 20 more yards in the air. So that's where it starts to be a problem. And that's why I'm a little concerned on the Florida side about a guy like Jaden Daniels, because he likes to be outside the tackles. He puts pressure on your edge, and you kind of have to pick your poison a little bit. And if Florida picks wrong, LSU has to make them pay for that decision. If they can't, and the run game's been suspect for LSU and all that, then Florida's defense may not look as bad. But if LSU can make them pay for one decision or the other, that's where that game hinges on that particular phase of the game.
I wanted to ask Sean just a couple of more, and Sean Kelley's our guest radio voice of the Gators. I wanted to ask about special teams because place kicking at Florida has kind of been a little bit sketchy here the last few weeks. What's going on there?
Only in that the misses are outside of 40. And it's two misses. Mahalik is interesting in that former walk-on, when the ball hits, when his foot hits the ball, it's loud. It's like going to batting practice and hearing a guy like McGuire or Bonds hit the ball. It just sounds different. So he's got the leg, and they've now divided up the kicking duties in that Trey Smack, who was a highly touted kicker coming out. He's handling the kickoffs because he can put it in the first row of the bleachers. And McCulloch is the more accurate guy with leg. I've seen him hit from 56, 57 yards, so it's there. The two misses, I don't think have hurt them. They come in in wins rather, and it's not like he's missing chip shots either. So I'm not as concerned as maybe somebody else would be at this point. And they've got a very good punter in Crawshaw, who I think probably needs to go out and just go to the driving range or something. He's punted one time in the last 2 weeks.
If John, if Florida wins the game, and they're a home favorite, but if Florida wins, what does the blueprint look like? How does the game play out?
It plays out by getting off to a good start. It plays out that the rushing numbers look as they do, as Florida's done this year. 6.4 yards per carry. That means that they're clipping at about 7.5 yards per play. If LSU shows man and Davis or Richardson gets going with Pearsall, Shorter, that crew, all those things are clicking, and then find a way to get off the field defensively. Keep the play count even as best you can. Be better on third down. Here's the other thing too, and I have this luxury of having kind of been in the LSU world and then now in the Florida world. The reputation of the Gators, and I know they don't want to hear this around here, is that people have come to think that Florida is kind of soft physically before Napier's arrival. I think they're more physical now under Napier, and that served them well through the first 6. If LSU comes in here, as they should and probably will, and just makes a big fist and tries to punch him in the mouth. If Florida doesn't swing back in just a physical way, it's a bad day for Florida. So that's the blueprint one way, and of course, the other two.
He's on Twitter at Sean Kelley Live. You'll give him a follow. Sean, enjoy the call on Saturday, man. It's always great to hear from you. We'll be in touch, all right?
Thank you. I will hope that there's no fog, no aerial shoes, or anything else like that on Saturday night.
There will be a lot of Tom Petty, and let's hope that the LSU band maybe doesn't play over Tom Petty, which might cause a brawl in the stands.
Yeah, I think that would be a safety concern for many.
Ooh. Enjoy the game, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Great to have you back in the conversation with me. I hope we get to do it again.
Thanks, man. We'll do it soon. That's Sean Kelley. Good friend, has been for a long time. Always very generous with his time. We appreciate it here in AFR. Boy, very, very candid there about Florida and some of their struggles, in particular defensively. Like, I know we talked about it last week with Tennessee and the possibility for LSU to get going offensively, which didn't happen. But so much of it is, you heard him. I mean, so much of it is starting fast. It's just something LSU has not been able to do. Like, if they can just, from boot meets ball, be sprinting and get themselves a lead early, how different it would feel to watch this team play with a lead instead of trying to dig themselves out of a hole. See if they can do it Saturday. All right, it's after further review. Thursday show is brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Tietgen Clinics of Louisiana. We'll knock out a quick break, come back. We will get the full Saints injury report when we come back. And is Aaron Rodgers set to retire? One report says so. We'll talk about it next. AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Get to the website or download the Rouse's app. Remember, delivery and pickup options are available. I tell you that every day. It's a great option at Rouse's. It'll save you time. You go to the app, select your items. Your personal shopper will go pick them out for you. When you pull up, they'll bring it out to the car for you. It's all about getting in, getting out, saving you time. That's Rouse's. Of course, they've also got a delivery option, so if you can't physically get to a Rouse's location, they will deliver your groceries to you at Rouse's. All of your celebratory beverages for your football weekend they've got. If you need food for your tailgate or your game watch party, if it's for a few or for a whole lot, Rouse's can certainly accommodate you. We did that. I told you, I think, one of the last holidays, maybe Father's Day or something like that. Got a whole bunch of barbecue, just walked in, was ready for us, picked it up, brought it home, served it to our whole family. It's Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's, this feels like home.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. it's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
We'll get to the full Saints injury report here in just a quick moment. There was a report earlier today from a guy who I guess we've come to know here on the show. You might remember the name Michael Balco. Balco, I think is how we did it, right, Mike?
Yeah, have we actually decided which one it is?
I don't know. Balco. Which way are we going?
I think I'm going to go Balco.
Balko. Michael Balco has a verified Twitter account. He has 9,000 Twitter followers. He follows me. I did not follow him. His Twitter bio says sports journalist, podcast host, featured on ESPN, Rivals, USA Today, and the founder of Who Dat Domain. We first became acquainted with Michael Balco. However, we're going to say it. You said Balco?
I said Balco.
Balco?
Could be both.
Paul? Balco? Paul, what do you think about that?
I'll go Balco.
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 Remind me, it was Michael Balco, who first reported that the Alvin Kamara suspension pertaining to the Las Vegas fight would not come until 2023.
That was him. That was Balco, yeah.
That's when we went through this before.
Mm-hmm.
And I said at the time, I am not discrediting this report. I was merely saying that I am going to wait for a credible report from an Adam Schefter or an Ian Rappaport or someone along those lines, which subsequently did come from everybody. So in my mind, Michael Balco, but there is a point here, by the way. Michael Balco. Let's go Balco.
Balco.
Now you switched.
It's tough.
Make up your mind. I think, in my mind anyway, he comes out of that gaining an awful lot of credibility.
I mean, yeah, he wasn't wrong.
To this point that we know.
Yeah.
Anyway, this morning, Michael Balco tweeted, I've spoken to some people within the Packers organization. They told me that quarterback Aaron Rodgers has, quote, made it clear that he plans to retire following the season. And you know what? That doesn't sound unrealistic or unreasonable, does it?
No.
I mean, Rodgers, West Coast guy, California guy, phenomenal player, one of the greatest we've ever seen, has always kind of marched to the beat of a different drum, from the silly outfits that we always see in training camp to all of the high-profile relationships and his very notable conflicts with the Packers organization. Their inability or unwillingness to draft him wide receivers. Now we saw Devontae Adams leave in the offseason. The the way they restructured his deal, it seemed almost certain that Rodgers would not be back with Green Bay this season, although he is. But I find this completely plausible. But it's a report from one singular source, Michael Balco.
One of those two, yeah.
Who says that Aaron Rodgers made it clear they plan to retire following the season. Time will tell, but maybe Balco hit another homer.
If he didn't, Balco definitely did.
No, Balco, like that one went right over your head. I thought as a baseball guy you'd get it. Balco, scandal, Barry Bonds, Balco, homers, steroids. Don't worry about it. It loses the when you have to explain it. I guess it wasn't that good. All right, so Aaron Rodgers, according to at least one report, planning to retire after the season. We shall see. Okay, I'll get the Saints injury report. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. Awesome people, man. Another member of the family became a member of the South Point family today. My uncle, my godparents, my Uncle Kenny, my Aunt Nancy, who are also my godparents, they bought an Atlas today from South Point Volkswagen. So that's me, Erica, my mom, my cousin Steven, his in-laws, now my Aunt Nancy and Uncle Kenny. They're great cars. If you want that full-size SUV, 3-row, 7-seater family SUV, that doesn't feel like you're driving a monster truck, that's fun to drive, that has great gas mileage, that has all the safety features, style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost, South Point Volkswagen. Drive an Atlas. Airline just north of Highland or southpointvw.com. They are Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. It's South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? Okay, let's run through the Saints injury report today, which, again, is lengthy, as you would expect. Yesterday, there were 14 players on the injury report today. 1, 2, 5 did not practice. 7 limited, and 2 upgraded to full participants from limited today. So 14, again, on the injury report. Here you go. Here's who did not practice. Receivers, Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Deontay Hardy. Cornerback, Marshawn Lattimore, and defensive end, Peyton Turner. Second consecutive day did not practice with that chest injury. I'm officially now getting concerned about Peyton Turner. Missed the bulk of last season with injury, and he's just been he is proving early in his career to be an injury-prone player, and that's unfortunate. So 5 that did not practice. The good news, 2 players that did not practice on Wednesday that did practice on Thursday. Chris Olave, Calvin Throckmorton. So Olave, that's fantastic news that he's upgraded, especially with Hardy, Landry, and Thomas all not practicing. It looks like Olave is trending toward playing. Throckmorton obviously gives you depth there on the offensive line as well. So him upgrading from not practicing to limited with a hip injury is good. J.T. Gray and Taysom Hill were both full participants after being limited yesterday. It's fantastic news for Taysom. The other players that were limited today, Ryan Ramczyk, Paulson Adebo, Marcus May, Malcolm Roach, Jameis Winston. The good news on May, it looks like he's trending toward playing, which is great. At Taysom Hill being a full participant is fantastic news. Roach just came off of IR, and so him being limited is to be expected, but he did play last week. And then we're obviously keeping an eye on Jameis Winston. We talked a good bit about that yesterday for those that missed it. It's going to be interesting to watch this transpire with Jameis because at some point he's got to get back on the field. But I don't want that to be until he's healthy and a full participant for the entire week. Real quick, I'll run through the Bengals part of the injury report. T. Higgins and Jonah Williams did not practice. Lyle Collins was limited. So you already have an offensive line, which even though they addressed it this offseason, has not been very good protecting Joe Burrow. Both of your tackles, Jonah Williams, your left tackle, Lyle Collins, your right tackle, did not practice on Wednesday. Lyle was limited today. Jonah Williams still out with a knee injury. T. Higgins did not practice. He's been out with an ankle injury. And then 3 other players, Devin Asiasi, Hayden Hurst, and Samaje Perine. were limited as well. So a less extensive injury report for the Cincinnati Bengals, but the offensive linemen are certainly notable, as is T. Higgins. All right, tomorrow we'll know much more. You know the drill by now. Like, if you're not practicing by Friday, chances are you're not going to play on Sunday. So we'll know much more tomorrow. All right, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We got What to Watch coming up here on AFR. And Ross Dellenger in 30 minutes. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org for the Baton Rouge General Hospital. Part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network, and of course here in October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So the Baton Rouge General always encourages women to protect your pumpkins and get that annual mammogram. Women over the age of 40 are encouraged to get their annual mammogram. Early detection dramatically reduces dramatically increases survival rates. And survival rates have increased tremendously in recent years because of early detection. But still, 1 in 8 women will develop breast cancer at some point in her lifetime. I've told you before, my mom and my aunt are both breast cancer survivors. Chances are you know someone who has been impacted by breast cancer. So ladies, get that mammogram. Men, encourage the women of your life to do so. brgeneral.org.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah! At Corval Toyota in Opelousas, we're happy to say that we have vehicles in stock and more coming in at no markup. Don't pay over MSRP. Come on down to Corval Toyota and choose your new Toyota today. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelley's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelley.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, rolling along here on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. We're glad you're with us. We'll get to what to watch in a little bit. Ross Dellenger in about 30 minutes and a Mike Triplett next hour, talking Saints and Bengals. Got a call last week from a guy who many of us welcomed into our home for, 4 decades here in the greater Baton Rouge area as the chief forecaster for WBRZ. Pat Shingleton, who asked if I could help with the 4 Kids Foundation, the First Tee program of East Baton Rouge Parish for an event coming up, and I said, absolutely. So this might be a little tricky, but we're going to try to do it. I got Pat Shingleton, Henry Pointer, who's the director of First Tee for EBR, and Mike Anderson, who's the president and board of directors, of course, great former Tiger as well. Do we have all 3 guys? Okay, let me start by saying hello, Pat. How are you?
Good. I want to let you know my middle name is Balco.
What would you, hey, Pat, Balko. Would you say Balco or Balco?
I'd probably say Balco, but if I'm in a bar and I had a few pints, it's going to be Balco.
Or either one would work. Let's say hello to Henry as well. Henry, how are you?
I'm doing, Matt. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. Henry is the director of the First Tee for EBR. And Mike Anderson joins us as well. Mike, it's great to hear from you. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm not the football player. I'm a different Mike Anderson.
Oh, give me you so told me that you
He's
would.
lying, Matt. He's lying.
It was a little hectic there.
Hey, let me start, Henry. Let me start with you, Henry. Explain, if someone says, "What is First Tee for EBR?" What would you say?
The First Tee is the youth development program to talk about life skills so that kids can best version of themselves and everything they do, including golf. And the way we set those life skills is through the game of golf. That's a synopsis of what the program is all about.
Guys, hang on. Muse, do me a favor. Could you just hit the hold button, please? Just hit hold, or pot down the phone, please. Pot down the phone. All right. We're with all 3. We're just getting a lot of echo. So please, would you just let. Okay, we're gonna work that out to get that. My apologies. We don't often go 3 on the phone at one time, and the audio quality there, for some reason, with the phone system was not super great. So we have Pat. Okay, Pat, let's just do it you and me because our audio was really letting us down right there. If I asked you, and Henry was starting there, but what can you tell us about First Tee of EBR?
Here is what I have learned, Matt, is that what Henry and Mike and their board have done is be able to take kids that are challenged, they're having difficulties in the communities, and teach them the game of golf. And as you know, golf and tennis are about the only sports where it's all relying on the individual. Yeah. So they learn the game. They learn how to recover from a bad shot. They learn how to recover also from a bad episode in life, and it advances them in that regard. So when my friend Mike Anderson, who really is a good football player, but not the one to play for LSU, came to me, and he said he's a great golfer too, and his grandson Walter is incredible. But anyway, when Mike says, "Hey Pat, we need something that is going to be able to be everlasting, evergreen, each year we can do," and Matt, this was tested, this ball drop. So I put the whole thing together, and on October 20th. Out on number 10 green at LSU, from a helicopter, we're going to drop these balls onto the green. Ball closest to the hole, closest to the pin, $5,000, and then Henry has it stage over for the second and third prizes as well. So $50 for the ball gives you the opportunity of winning $5,000.
That's awesome. First Tee, T-E-E, First Tee, EBRP.org is the website. We have it here up on the screen, and I'll make sure that I share it on all of our social media as well. So
thank you.
So Pat, I'm looking in here. There's sponsorship still available as well, which are listed on the website.
You bet.
Okay.
Yes, there are, and we can even advance those the day of. And Henry's put together a shootout. There's going to be a car out there. The first 25 folks that come out and register for that, they get a chance through Jerry Lane to be able to possibly win that car. So it'll be a fun, you know me, Matt, it's fun, and it's fun raising for the betterment of the community, and this should be a lot of fun next Thursday.
Well, I mean, Pat, and you've just during your whole career, you've done so much for the community, from Pat's Coach for Kids. Obviously, that's one of many, many things that you've done throughout the years. But and I know people miss seeing you too. So, by the way, for all the people who haven't heard from you since you left their television sets, how are you doing?
Very well. With my friends Henry and Mike, we also launched the Pat Shingleton Retirement Fund. And how that works is for $100. But, you know,
sold.
It hasn't. It's right. It really hasn't stopped. I still consult for the station. We just finished To the Pantry. We're still trying to resurrect the 3-on-3 basketball. We want to be able to. We're launching Coach for Kids on Monday, so it's fun. You know, I enjoy doing it, and I get back on the air on occasion, doing some speaking as well. And I just got two great agents in Henry Pointer and Mike Anderson that are with us today.
That's awesome. So it's a week from today, October the 20th is the ball drop on the LSU golf course so it's number 10 on the LSU golf course.
Number 10.
It'd be on number 10. So man, who's going to be in the helicopter dropping the golf balls?
Well, that's just it. I'm also a certified chopper pilot.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I've learned over the years to know where I can cut through the BS, like when to believe you and when not to believe you.
Mike emails our pilot, and I want to thank Sid Gotro, Dale DeSherry, too, from EBR Sheriff. They're going to help us out with that. I have a young man. His name is Scott Scalia. He is in avionics, and he's with the ROTC program at LSU. He wants to fly helos, so he's actually going to dump the balls.
Cool.
So we're going to do a test run tomorrow, and Mike and Henry are actually going to stand on the green with helmets on, and we're going to drop the balls. And they're going to see how that goes. And then we'll come back next Thursday and make it happen. It should be fun, you know. And once again, folks, $50 helps the kids. They really, really do. Henry does such a marvelous job to help those kids. And not only that, the proceeds to that, but you have the opportunity once again of maybe winning that closest ball to the pin.
Grand prize again is $5,000. Second place is $3,500. Third place is $1,500, and you can go buy your ball, which is your entry, at firsttebrp.org. As in East Baton Rouge Parish. firsttebrp.org. So make sure you get by and support. Is there a limit to the number of balls that are going to be sold?
No. We've had some major contributions from Raising Cane's, from AMS Services with Mike Sauce and John Veluzzo Properties. So those are our three major sponsors, and there's no limit. I mean, you can go in there and latch on as many balls as you want, and we only have 1,000 of them sequentially printed from 1 to 1,000. So I don't know. Henry probably can extrapolate how many may be left if he's still with us, and he and Mike might be able to fill in the blanks on that.
Okay, so that was my question. So there's only going to be 1,000 sold, which is you have a 1 in 1,000 shot of winning, it would seem. So, Pat, please extend our apologies to Henry and Mike. We tried to make the phone call conference at work, and it for whatever reason, I guess the system got a little overwhelmed and we had a bad echo. So extend our apologies to those guys, but please thank them for all that they're doing with First Tee of EBR, and we're certainly happy to help.
And Matt, to the great work that you do as well, and you and I have visited on many occasions, and you know my prayers are with you on that.
We appreciate it very much, Pat. Thank you.
Okay, bud.
Pat Shingleton, we'll be in touch. Best of luck next week. Okay. We'll let Pat go. Okay. So that's Pat Shingleton again. So, First Tee of EBR, essentially, the First Tee program is it helps with a life skills experience for kids in East Baton Rouge Parish, and this is a big fundraiser. It's a ball drop. I think you got the gist of it there. They'll sell 1,000 golf balls. It's $100 per ball. They'll drop them out of a helicopter. Closest to the pin or the hole on number 10 a week from today is going to win $5,000. Second place, $3,500. Third place, $1,500. So, and even if you don't win, you're helping kids in our community, which is awesome. So many thanks to Pat Shingleton, to Henry Pointer, and to Mike Anderson. So Muse, who did you think that was?
Well, no, I know who.
Because you picked up the phone.
I know.
And you said, which you can explain.
Yes, no. So like my best friend, Mike Anderson's really good friends with his father. I see him and his wife once a year at their Super Bowl party. That's what I was doing. But when you started asking me questions, I was trying to talk to him and you and get us back into segment, and I just nodded. Like, I just nodded and said yes to whatever you asked.
I said, is that Mike Anderson, the football player?
And I
like
nodded
the
and
LSU
said yes,
linebacker?
because
And you
I
said
had
yes.
him on the phone, you in my ear, and the break was over.
It is not
No,
Mike Anderson.
he's a great guy, though. Love him to death. Really nice man.
Stinks at football.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
All right, let's can we please tweet out that link from the ESPN Twitter account, maybe share it on Facebook as well. Would you mind taking care of that? You guys
Yeah, sure.
A second? Okay. It's firsttebrp.org, and you'll see the link for the ball drop. All right, it's after further review. We do have to get to what to watch. Let me break. Let's see if we can get both what to watch and Tigers and the pros in the next segment. That might be tough. We're going to try to do it, and Ross Dellenger's coming up in 15 minutes. It's AFR.
AFR.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah! Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you. Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, brought to you by GMFS Mortgage, GMFSmortgage.com, changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans, GMFS Mortgage, GMFSmortgage.com. Remember, we'll get Tigers in the Pros in just a second. Remember, if you are thinking about buying a home, as a matter of fact, I was having a conversation with a coworker today, thinking about selling their home, moving into a new home, a little more house. We're talking about interest rates. And look, I mean, just let the people who deal with that every day walk you through it. GMFS Mortgage, our state's largest local lender, the 11th largest lender in the entire country. Billions in loans, hundreds of thousands of Louisianians helped. It's GMFS Mortgage. Online, GMFSmortgage.com. All right, Muso. You better have the Catholic High guys in it this time. Tigers in the Pros.
Tigers in the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
That's actually where we start, Matt, is last night in Chavez Ravine. Austin Nola and the San Diego Padres. They evened that series up 5-3. Nola wore the collar 0 for 4 with a K, but he made the highlight reel nonetheless by absolutely hosing Mookie Betts at second base on a stolen base attempt.
Did he get him? Did the tag get him on the forearm? I don't know, bro.
The ball was right on the bag.
Ball was there.
Well, I mean, right as Betts is sliding in, the ball is just right there. It is. Well, look, former AL MVP, he's pretty darn good at Mookie Betts. Still a big fan of Mookie Betts.
Nola.
That's not bad for a college shortstop, huh? Going on right now in Houston at Minute Maid Park, the Astros have a 3-2 lead over the Seattle Mariners in the top of the 7th. Alex Bregman, so far today, 0 for 3. Not great, but did have the big 2-run homer in the 8th inning in game number 1. We'll get you a full recap of what Bregman did tomorrow during Tigers in the Pros once that game goes final. NBA preseason basketball last night. The Brooklyn Nets victorious 107-97 over the Bucks. Ben Simmons. No, not at all.
Just felt like
needed
to do one.
You couldn't have saved that for Cam Thomas. I mean, he's coming up. I mean, you had to go with Ben.
Number 1 overall pick, bro.
That's okay. 28 minutes, 3 of 5 from the floor.
National
No, he did not even attempt a three-pointer. 7 points in all with 10 assists and 2 steals for Ben. Cam Thomas, 15. I'll allow it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Why?
I don't know. Because he's from, like, New Jersey or something like that.
He's nothing at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I at least drew the random connect the dots with DJ LeMahieu.
It took you a minute, though. You're still reaching on that one, by the way.
I went to a brother's school.
15 minutes for Cam.
It's basically the same thing.
50% from the floor, 11 points, 2 assists, and a block for Cam Thomas last night in preseason basketball. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You know where to find them. LMFJ.com, or go to either of the 2 locations in Baton Rouge, corporate in Bocage, and in the Mall of Louisiana. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com. That's LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gentlemen, if you're thinking of buying that engagement ring, trust the people that have done it for 40 years. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, the best selection, great prices, and you always get the Lee Michaels experience. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Last week, Thursday Night Football was atrocious. You saw an overtime game in the NFL that didn't have a touchdown in regulation. In an era in which Offenses, this is an offensive error. The rules are skewed to help the offenses. It was that bad. Al Michaels made jokes during the broadcast about how bad the game was. He said sometimes the game's so bad, it's actually good. Al Michaels was a guest on Waddle and Sylvie there in Chicago, and he was really hoping he doesn't get a redo.
Al, are you anticipating a better game tomorrow night than the one we saw this past Thursday?
If we don't have a better game than we had last Thursday, I may retire. No, I mean, I've done pretty close to 800 NFL games, and, you know, with all due respect, I mean, guys are trying. I understand that. We all know that. But that was grim. And when you have a game where the home team crowd, and we had the shot of it both inside the stadium and out, of a couple of thousand people leaving before overtime, that was all you needed to know. And
yeah, it was a brutal game last week. Hoping for a better game tonight. Bears, Commanders, Justin Fields, Carson Wentz. Jimmy Ott will be with us later to wrap up the show on Otter Locks. By the way, Otter had a 3-0 day yesterday. He hit on the University of Louisiana at Lafayette plus 10.5. He hit on the Padres money line and his first 5 play with the Phillies hit. So Otter and Fuego. All right, hour number 3. Ross Dellinger next.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills, Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service, name brand tires at wholesale prices. You know where to find them, ShawBillsTire.com, 17 locations. Here's the thing with Shawbills. When you buy tires at Shawbills, they extend to you Charlie's Dozen. It's the best incentive plan. It extends all these benefits, not only to you, but to every member of your family whenever you buy tires at Shawbills, for every vehicle in the family, I should say. And even down to things like tire repair. If you need a tire repair, they do it for free. And it doesn't even matter if you bought the tires there. And some people hear that, they're like, is that real? Yeah, it's real. Just because 50 years ago when they opened their doors, 54 years ago, Mr. Charlie said it's just the right thing to do. And that attitude is carried on for half a century, and that is why Shawbills is what they are today. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 60 months on new 2022 Ford F-150s. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Slugger Yordan Alvarez, the hero for the Astros with his walk-off home run in that ALDS Game 1 win over the Mariners, has come through today in Game 2. He's got the go-ahead 2-run blast. It came in the 6th inning off Luis Castillo. Houston's up 3-2 on Seattle, bottom 7. Tonight's Game 2 of the ALDS for the Guardians and Yankees postponed because of rain, rescheduled for tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. According to a report from ESPN, Commanders owner Dan Snyder, who's facing investigations on multiple fronts, has told associates he used private investigators and other sources to gather dirt on fellow owners, coaches, and executives, and that he will not lose his franchise without a fight, leading to some uncomfortable choices for owners and the league, notes ESPN's Dan Orlovsky.
It's either you call out his bluff and say you have nothing on us, or it comes down to how much do you want him out? And how much self-exposure are you willing to go through to force his hand and get him out?
Dan Orlovsky on First Take. A Commander's spokesman has denied the private investigator allegations.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Let's head up to Rocky Top. We find our buddy Ross Dellinger from Sports Illustrated. Has a nice feature out right now at SI.com about what could very well be the resurgence of the Tennessee football program. Delly, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
Good, Matt. How you doing?
I'm great. What's so you got there how early in the week?
I got here Tuesday morning, so been here a while. We'll be here a couple more days.
Yeah, man. It's kind of, if you would, just describe what the week has been like around Knoxville.
Well, it's I tell you what, I know it's gonna shock you that I went out to the bar district when I got here on Tuesday night, but I did. And it was packed. It was wild for a Tuesday night. Now, part of it was the weather's been unbelievable here. It's been sunny and 70 degrees. And it was great. It was packed. Downtown was a buzz. And then last night was the call-in show on the river at Calhoun's, Tennessee River, and it was slammed. 24 people waiting in line to get autographs from Josh Heupel. And all the Vol Navy boats are already here. There's about 30 or 40 of them already parked along the dock on the Tennessee River, ready to do some sailgating. So it's alive. It's. I haven't been out much today yet, but it's people, I would imagine, start rolling in today. I did see couple of Alabama campers rolling by this afternoon. So it's the biggest game here in 24 years.
You do a great job as a feature writer, as a reporter, and you've followed a lot of the ancillary things in college football, like NIL, the playoff, et cetera. I kind of want to talk to you about football, novel, but do you think Tennessee is going to win this game?
I think if I think if Bryce Young doesn't play, or isn't at least 90+%, I think Tennessee probably does win the game. I think that Bryce Young will play, and I'm thinking he won't be 100%, but he'll probably be. I would guess that he'd be pretty close. So I foresee a pretty back and forth, tight, kind of electric game that, honestly, in the fourth quarter, either team could win. I ended up picking. This is how I feel about the game. I think the spread is 7 or 7.5. Alabama favored by right at a touchdown. I think I picked Alabama to win the game and picked Tennessee to cover, which, as you know, Matt, never a smart move.
I'm fascinated by it because look, especially as the SEC is going to expand, schedules are going to change, but we know Alabama is going to play Tennessee every year. Alabama needs Tennessee to be good. The league needs Tennessee to be good because Alabama doesn't need a layup with its permanent East opponent every year. So this is a massive opportunity certainly for them. Outside of what's going to happen in Knoxville, Ross, what other game this weekend, and it's a huge slate, and we can run through it all, but what other game would you say you're most interested in or that is most consequential?
Well, there's a pretty big game down in Dallas. TCU, or in Fort Worth, I should say. TCU hosts Oklahoma State. And those are the last two undefeated teams in the Big 12. And the winner will be in the driver's seat of the Big 12. And I'm going to tell you, we've kind of waited a decade more for this type of year to happen where Oklahoma State could finally crack into the playoff. And I think maybe this is the year. I don't know, but this is certainly a big test. They'll have to beat TCU, of course. And then I think they host Texas after that next week. So that's a big one. Obviously, there's a huge one in the Big House. Penn State goes to Michigan for a game that could tell us a lot about the Big Ten East and the situation there. Which team is going to more so challenge Ohio State?
Which team are you more of a believer in right now? Because Michigan, look, they're fifth ranked, they're undefeated, but they have had a very weak path to this point.
They have. In fact, I'm not trying to be some Big Ten hater here, but the Big Ten is not as strong, I feel like, as it's been in the past. And you just look at Ohio State's schedule. I'll be honest, I know that they've cruised through a lot. I know they've looked impressive. I know, and that's why they're probably number one. But I'm trying to base my rankings, and we do a top 10 every week, on the schedule you play. And I think so far Clemson has the most quality wins. Ohio State played Notre Dame, Arkansas State, Toledo, Wisconsin, team that fired its coach, Rutgers, and Michigan State. I think, I don't know, it's hard to tell how good Ohio State is, and also, as you mentioned, how good Michigan is, because neither of them really have a quality win on the board yet. Yeah. So it's tough, and I think that's going to be a great classic Big Ten matchup there in the Big House. That is the makings of a 23-17 type game. It's a grudge match. It's big, big defenses. The big question for me is, can Penn State's defense, which is one of the best in the nation, can they stop Michigan's running attack with Blake Corum? And I don't know that they can.
A game that SEC fans watch and go, yeah, whenever that team, either one of them plays an SEC team in the playoff, we'll win by 40, basically. Because that's how it's been for a while. That's how it's been for a while there, because they're lacking speed.
It's just you hear the SEC speed thing. It's a cliche, but it's real, right? It's real. In the only team outside of the SEC, I think that really truly has SEC speed every year consistently is Ohio State. And every now and then you get a Clemson team with some pretty dang good receivers and running backs and skill players, but that's been what has held the Big Ten back. I tell you, has some SEC speed this year is USC.
All right, so there's two other teams that I want to ask you about. So the other big game, and there are other ranked matchups, but Clemson goes to Florida State. That's the ABC night game, and people here will be watching LSU-Florida at that time. But that is probably you mentioned Clemson having the best wins so far. This is probably Clemson's last great test. They do have to go to Notre Dame, but I think it's fair to say this is probably their last great test. So is Clemson challenged this weekend at Florida State?
Matt.
What?
In a week.
Syracuse. I'm not buying Syracuse. I'm not buying Syracuse.
Orange.
Yeah, the kid from Mississippi State who helicoptered in the air on the sideline is what he's most notable for. Congrats to Syracuse. You beat a bunch of nobodies by a point. You're undefeated. In a month from now, we'll be looking at a team that's 8-4, 7-5. I'm not worried about it. So, anyway, Syracuse. Have you looked at Syracuse's schedule? Have you looked at what's coming up for Syracuse?
I know.
What's coming up for Syracuse? What's coming up for Syracuse is like 6 straight losses. Is what's coming up for Syracuse.
Yeah.
So please don't on October the 13th try to sell me on Syracuse. Here you go. They've got NC State, Clemson, Notre Dame, Pitt, Florida State, Wake Forest, Boston College. Like they might lose all but one of those.
Yeah. Yep. They could go 6-6 for sure after a 5-0 start. Yeah. No, I was kidding. And Syracuse does host NC State this weekend, and I think if they have Devin Leary, the quarterback, NC State, I think we'll beat them. But that'll be an interesting one to watch, see if he plays. But as far as Clemson, at Notre Dame it's the toughest test probably. I mean, South Carolina we know is not very good this year. That game though is at Clemson, so it's not probably a real worry at all. And Clemson has dominated that series so much, but I don't see a loss on there. I don't really, Matt, see a loss this weekend. Florida State's kind of reeling, but this is a huge game for Mike Norvell. I think going into the season as coach, everybody thought his seat was pretty warm, and there's a guy that used to go to Florida State that's coaching in the SWAC that's putting together a third straight, basically like undefeated season or very good season. And before the year, you would have penciled in Deion Sanders maybe to be the next Florida State coach, and then all of a sudden, Florida State goes 4-0, starts 4-0, but now they're staring at losing a third straight. So this is a huge one for him.
All right, Ross Dellenger, who's on Twitter at Ross Dellenger. Make sure you get to SI.com. You can read his feature. It's time for football to kick butt. Tennessee's Revival faces biggest test versus Alabama. Okay, you said USC. They're at Utah this weekend. UCLA is a better team right now than USC. So why are you enamored with USC instead of UCLA?
Oh, you think that UCLA is better than USC?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Did you say that? Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's interesting.
They are.
What?
They are.
Okay. All right.
See, this is my point. I think you and most people are looking at logos and not looking at what's happening on the field. And maybe the only thing people remember about UCLA is the fact that they had a close game against South Alabama and nobody goes to their games. But anyway.
Well, that's true.
Anyway.
Well, I think again, I'm a big schedule guy, right? Especially early in the season. I think USC have better wins. I think they have better wins. I think they played a better schedule. I will give you this. Each team has a three-headed monster, right? Running back, quarterback, and a receiver, and they're each very explosive, and they're fun to watch and all that. I just think USC's played a better schedule, has a few more quality victories, but I think there's a reason that Utah's favored in this game because USC does have some holes still defensively, they've improved. And I will say this about USC. I think they lead the nation in turnover margin. They have one turnover, and I think they've gotten like 12 or 13 or something on the year. So now that's being opportunistic, sure, but it's also being a little lucky, right? So I think that probably is going to balance out a little bit, and we'll probably see that happen. And they very well could lose that game against Utah. I mean, I don't necessarily expect it to happen, but I feel like either Florida State or Utah is going to win. You know, like I kind of feel like both of those teams aren't going to lose. So somebody's getting upset, I feel like, either USC or Clemson.
I would challenge you, as I bid you adieu, and as you're pouring a nice glass of whiskey tonight, to actually go look at the games that UCLA has played and the games that USC has played. I've looked
quite a bit.
Ross,
I have, I promise you.
UCLA has 2 ranked wins. They've beaten Washington and Utah.
USC
has none.
The current ranking. You cannot use the current ranking.
I'm not. That was at the time they played.
No, you can't. No, I'm sorry. You can't use like the current ranking when they play. You got to use now.
You have to look at when they played because if you lose a game,
Arizona State.
If you lose a game, of course you're going to drop in the rankings. But USC's played Rice, Stanford, Fresno State, Oregon State, Arizona State with an interim coach, and Washington State. Where's the good win?
Well, I think Washington State and Oregon State are better are better opponents than anybody except Utah that UCLA has played. I believe that. But look, they're close. I grant you it. It's not a crazy. You saying that you think UCLA is better than USC isn't too crazy. And you're right. There's a little bit of brand bias there. Also, there's player bias, right? Yeah, they've got Caleb Williams, they've got Jordan Addison, and they've got all these highfalutin players. But you know what? We're gonna end up deciding this on the field, right? Because they play later this year.
He's Ross Dellenger. He'll be in Neyland Stadium on Saturday watching what hopefully will be the most entertaining game of the college football weekend. Hey, man, we always appreciate the visit. Thanks for the time.
All right. See you, Matt.
See you on Twitter at Ross Dellenger. Mike Triplett joins us next on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about River City's 1 Hour Air. Great time to call River City's 1 Hour Air. You heard Delly just mention 70 degrees and sunny. Beautiful up there on Rocky Top. Right. Look, it rained yesterday. It's 85 right now, but do you realize after this rain next week, have you looked at the thermostat or at the forecast? Next week, lows in the 40s here in the Big Raggedy. So you might be cranking up that heater next week. Y'all, make this phone call. Get River City's 1 Hour Air out to your house for your preseason heater safety check. Mention the Moscona special. Mention the show. They'll save you $30 off the preseason heater safety check. A technician will come to your house. They'll make sure your heater is clean, safe, and running efficiently. Get this done, y'all. Don't crank up that heater. It's been dormant for months without getting it checked first. River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit.
Let's go, defense!
We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers. Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
Mike!
Yeah?
Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football, presented by Benny's Car Wash, family owned and operated since 1951.
Now that's a banger. Mike Triplett joins us, New Orleans Football. How are you, dude?
Am I sponsored by Gatorade? Like, do I have a big
No, sir.
endorsement deal?
You are
just the song.
Sir, you are sponsored by Benny's Car Wash. Let's get that straight here, friend.
All right.
Yes, Benny's Car Wash. Go get your car washed over at Benny's. The green sign locations all over the place. Join the membership club.
Love
Unlimited for as low as $14.99 a month. Are you kidding me? Benny's Car Wash. Hey, so Taysom Hill, and I saw your piece at ESPN.com. Very well done. Excuse me.
New Orleans Football.
Old habits die
We
hard.
both screwed up our sponsor.
Oh, my God.
Roll this one back. Roll it back. Thank goodness this isn't live.
Okay. Taysom Hill had a great day. Saw your piece at New Orleans Football. We've seen Taysom Hill have great days before. Why did this one hit different?
Well, you know what's funny, too, is I sit next to Nick Underhill, and we kind of pick after the game, hey, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? But sometimes we talk beforehand. And I said, I got a feeling I'm going to be writing about Taysom Hill after this one. Probably because they needed something, and he's the guy who's like behind the glass, like break in case of emergency. That's basically what Darin Rizzi said about him today, how he hadn't been practicing a kickoff returner, but Taysom Hill has proven to be the guy that, like, hey, we need somebody in here. Give me Taysom. And he kind of revived the whole offense. Look, Taysom Hill kind of said something that you know, he seemed a little upset that they didn't communicate clearly to him at the beginning of this offseason what his role is going to be. And he didn't really know until he heard Dennis Allen tell the media that he was going to move to tight end. But I think that just speaks to, they don't know from week to week. They don't know from month to month. They know they have something here, and they don't know the best way to deploy it. Even the fans of this team who have watched this work so many times take turns getting mad when they see him on the field, like, oh, no, not this again, even though it's always been very effective. They tried to move him to tight end because they thought maybe he'll get more snaps that way. They've only thrown one pass to him. They know he's a special player, but obviously even Sean Payton, when he finally started at quarterback, did a bad job of bringing out his best talent. He's a very hard guy to figure out how to use, but if you can block the way they were blocking, and I've always thought he should be a big part of the run game, I have a feeling that they're going to realize, all right, we got to do this a lot more.
Let me continue on with the part of the run game, because I know we've had this conversation for so many years about what Sean Payton's record as the Saints coach was when they'd run for 30 carries or more. Mike Detillier would throw out that stat all the time. Something like they'd win 85% of their games or something like that. Is it possible for this team? Because look, when I see the rushing attempts for Alvin Kamara get over 20, I start to get a little nervous. Is this sustainable?
Yeah, well, look, that stat, I've always scoffed at that stat because it's backwards. When you're winning, you run the ball. A lot of those, the reason that stat exists is because a lot of teams that are protecting big leads run out the clock at the end of the game. Show me what that stat says in the first half of the game. Do teams that run 20 times in the first half always win? I don't know. Okay. I don't know for sure. But it's always a good sign because it means it's working. It means you haven't had to abandon the run. It means you stuck with it because it was working. And so the Saints would love for that to be their script every week. That's 2 weeks in a row now where they've been really efficient running the ball. We saw the beginnings of it in London against Minnesota during their comeback. And the reason we didn't see it early in the season is because they were down by so much that they had to play this no-huddle, hurry-up offense. They had that insane statistic where they only had 2 total rushing attempts in the fourth quarter of their first 3 games. So, of course, this is the style they love to play. We saw them last year, even with Jameis Winston and his big arm. They were only, when they were 5-2 in the first 7 games last season, they were only averaging 180 passing yards a game. They would love to be run game, defense, and only pass when you need to. If they're able to sustain this. Now, I've had some questions about whether the offensive line's as good as it's been in the past, but I think they're showing signs of being pretty decent again.
He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett. Okay, you said Jameis Winston. Let's traverse that path. What do you do here with Jameis and with Andy, with Jameis practicing this week?
I think they're going to stick with Dalton this week, and I think they should stick with Dalton this week. I don't think Dalton has played well enough yet to make it obvious that he's supplanted Winston, like Tom Brady, Drew Bledsoe situation. I don't think we're there yet, but we're definitely at a point where the things are going so well under Dalton that you don't need to rush Winston back. Like, you can wait till he is basically 100% healthy or 95% healthy before you make the switch. There's no reason to do it when you're not sure if Jameis is still limited. So I think it'll take a while before they see them switch back. I would be surprised if it's before that, because next week it's a 4-day week before they go to Arizona. I would think it would be after that, possibly next week, or of course if Dalton starts to struggle, then you switch back. But I don't think they're eager to rock the boat, so there's no reason to do it until you're sure that Jameis is fully back.
Mike, do you have any insight on what receiving options will be there for the Saints this week against Cincinnati?
Well, it's looking pretty good for Olave, but I can't claim to know enough about the concussion protocol to say that just because we saw him on the practice field, running some routes and being listed as limited, that means he's definitely going to play. And I know, I think the concussion protocol has gotten even stricter in recent weeks in the NFL. So it's really hard to predict that, but it looks like it's trending the right way. I think the Saints thought Jarvis Landry was going to play last week, so it's definitely a surprise that he hasn't practiced at all this week. And Dennis Allen said, when asked if he had a setback, he kind of hemmed and hawed and said, I guess you could technically call it that because we thought he'd be back by now, and he hasn't progressed. So I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen him, but it's not looking good for him. And even though there was optimism, I think in an Adam Schefter report with Michael Thomas, and I talked to sources that thought he's closer this week than he was last week. It doesn't look good when a guy's not practicing at all or doing any walkthrough or anything the first 2 days of the week.
Mike Triplett is with us, courtesy of Benny's Car Wash. Find a Benny's near you. Of course, get your membership pass as well. $14.99 a month, unlimited washes, as low as $14.99 a month. We appreciate Benny's for bringing us our conversation with Mike Triplett each week from New Orleans.football. I want to flip it over. So here comes Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Boyd and Higgins and Mixon in this offense that caught fire, last year and ran all the way to the Super Bowl. they've not quite been as effective to start this season, but then I look at the Saints secondary and I go, man, with all those injuries, I don't even know who's going to cover all these guys. So who's going to cover all these guys?
That's a big concern this week, without question. It's not looking good for Marshawn Lattimore, and I wonder exactly how long he'll be out because DeAndre Hopkins and Devontae Adams are on the schedule the next 2 weeks after that too. So it's going to be really tough. Look, Paulson Adebo struggled in this last game, obviously, although the safety help he didn't get over the top was a big problem too. But I have a little more confidence in him. He was so good last year. He looked incredible in the preseason, almost like the most improved player on the team. And then the injury stunted his growth a little bit. I have a feeling he'll do a decent job, though, even if I don't know if they'll shadow him. I don't know if they have that much faith in him. It'll probably be him on one side and Bradley Roby on the other side. With Jamar Chase and T. Higgins being questionable for this game. But you'd really like to see Marcus May back. He was showing some good things at safety, and they obviously missed him when they were down to their backup safeties in this game. So that would help, but that is by far the most decisive Bengals advantage in this game.
Mike, if I asked you big picture, we talked about it last week. I mean, last week was as close to a must-win as you could imagine just because of the math of trying to dig out of that hole if you started 1-4. So they get the win, they're 2-3. So how big then does this one become?
I mean, it's pretty big. I would say you don't ever want to fall 3 games behind 500. That's when we reach must-win territory. I mean, it's hard to. I think they're the underdog in this game. I actually don't know the line. I should know the line, but I think it's fair to paint them as the underdog in this game. And it's probably fair to assume they're going to be the underdog at Arizona.
Bengals 1.5 or Bengals 2, somewhere in there.
So with the injuries they have and with the caliber of opponents they're facing over the next 2 weeks, I don't know you can call either one a must-win, and then they're going to come back home and they're going to face the Raiders and the Ravens, and those have become must-wins. But I think basically while they're figuring their team out and while they're getting through these injuries, they have to keep 500 within range. I mean, frankly, they could go into Week 18 at 500 and probably be mathematically alive for the playoffs. So there needs to always be a path to easily getting back to 500 or reasonably getting back to 500. So the season isn't over if they lose these 2 games in 5 days. And I think if they just plain split them, then you feel really good about the team. But yeah, they're going to be the underdog 2 weeks in a row. So it's going to be a tall order.
He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett. Read his stuff at neworleans.football. And, of course, our conversations with Mike are presented by Benny's Car Wash each week, each Thursday here on AFR. Mike, we appreciate it, man. Have a great rest of your week. We'll look forward to doing it again next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, man. Be well. Of course, Benny's Car Wash, bringing our conversations with Mike Triplett. Benny'sCarWash.com. Benny'sCarWash.com. I would highly, highly recommend. Like, I read through those copy points last week. You can get a monthly membership for as low as $14.99 a month. That's crazy. Unlimited washes for as low as $14.99 a month. That's just bonkers. Anyway, check it out. Benny'sCarWash.com, or just go into a Benny's. You'll see the green signs. Benny'sCarWash.com. All right, we got to knock out a break. One thing we missed last hour was what to watch. So we're going to get to that. Otter locks in about 15 minutes or so. Love telling you about Mold Zero USA. I got Jim Woodworth and the whole gang at Mold Zero doing an awesome job. Mold-0USA.com. If you've got mold or odor in your home, your work, your office building, they can help. Mold-0USA.com. It's a patented dry fog technology. It's so easy. There's no demo work. They're not cutting sheetrock. They come in, they spray their patented dry fog technology all throughout the house. It sits for about 45 minutes or so that way it can dwell, is what it's called. And then you just wait for the fog to dissipate. It usually takes about 2 hours, so you're only out of your home for 2 hours. Then when you walk in, all the mold has been killed, and you have a clean-smelling home as well. Mold-0USA.com. Mold-0USA.com. Serving the entire greater Baton Rouge and greater New Orleans areas. It's Mold Zero. Mold-0USA.com. Okay, it's after further review. Been a really good show. We appreciate y'all for being here. If you missed it, we have gone over the Saints injury report. RC was here in hour 1, our fantasy blitz. We went down to Gainesville, talked to Sean Kelley the voice of the Gators, to start hour 2. We had Delly with us earlier this hour from Knoxville, previewing the biggest game of the games of the college football weekend. Great college football weekend. My goodness, this slate is just delicious. So, and then you just heard Mike Triplett. Let me knock out a break. We'll come back. Muse, Paulie, and I will tell you what we're watching this football weekend, and then we'll get to Otter Locks to wrap up the show. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, what better way to watch Thursday Night Football than while chowing down on award-winning jumbo chicken wings? I can't think of any. Get by Pluckers, either location. Nicholson just south of campus or Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Commanders, Bears in the NFL tonight. How about the college game with Baylor at West Virginia? You've actually got 2 college games. You've got a game in the American as well. I think it's down at the Bounce House in Orlando. Check them out at Pluckers. Remember, every Thursday is all-you-can-eat boneless buffalo bites. So pay one low price, eat as many of those boneless buffalo bites as you want all night long. So you can get there early, stay there late, watch all the football action. You got Major League Baseball postseason action as well. What more could you possibly want? It's Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Dine-in, carry-out, or delivery for all of your game days, your football Saturdays, your NFL Sundays. Make it Pluckers, where if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% for 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelley's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelley.
Shop, shop.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah!
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys.
After further review with Matt Moscona, Presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
If you have Instagram, I'd recommend you go check out the 1045 ESPN Instagram account. They were filming whenever we did the show change. So Hunt and Hill precede us in the studio. So their show ends, then we just hurriedly, they get out, we come in, set change. Well, Hunt was wearing a Cincinnati Bengals shirt intentionally to piss me off. I've talked about it for months. I am really worried about what I'm going to see Sunday in the Dome. It's a home game for the Saints, and I think a lot of LSU fans are going to wear Bengals crap and go to the game. And I'm not pulling for the Bengals. I don't like the Bengals. I have no feeling whatsoever for the Cincinnati Bengals. I like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and I wish them well. And when they play, I want them to do exceptionally well. Except I don't want them to. I want the Saints to kick the crap out of them this weekend. And I'm worried about it being neutralized a bit. Been very open about that. So Hunt wore a Bengals shirt to troll me, and they were videoing. I didn't know they were videoing. Taylor, his video producer, was filming when I walked in, and I'm me, and I'm emotional, and I don't know if emotional is the right way. I have a temper, and I'm angry when I get angry. I mean, how would you describe me, Muse? People know,
temper. Temper.
You bear the brunt of it a lot. I mean, it's just the nature.
Do I?
I don't know, Paul. Yes, people say that, like, why are you always going on my boy Muse? I'm like, I don't know.
People say that. Yeah.
It's not that I'm going out. I mean, I feel like we have a great relationship. We work very well together. It's just me. I don't know.
You get agitated and you go to temper. That's what happens.
I default to anger.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm serious. It's the Enneagram. Like, I'm an 8 on the go read Enneagram 8. That's me. Put a picture of me next to that thing. That's what I am. Anyway, so the video Taylor shot of me walking in and throwing papers at Hunt and all, they posted it on the Instagram as an Instagram reel. If they had kept going for another 2 minutes, they would have caught many more expletives. They would have caught, because every day I walk in here, and Hunt and Hill leave their crap in here every day. See, now I'm getting upset. Normally, I don't say anything about it. I just go throw it away for him. Papers strewn about. Hunt leaves his water bottle. Hilly was about to walk out, leaving a Raisin Cane's box right there on the set. I'm like, bro, get your crap out of here. See, got me worked up now. It's all because that Bengals shirt.
Already.
See? I wish, though, they had kept it rolling. I threw a water bottle at Hunt. I took all his stuff. I was like, I'm sick of your mom. I said, your mom don't work here. Take your crap. Get your crap out of here. I'm sick of picking it up every day. I threw it at him. That roll of paper towels is still on the floor. Anyway, if you want to see the video, and even the whole thing, it's only, probably about 30 seconds of it. How long do you think that lasted?
90 seconds, minute and a half, yeah.
Well, they didn't get all of it. But you can go see what they have if you want to see it. Follow me on Instagram, too, while you're there. Probably get some angry rants from time to time. A lot of Drew stuff as well. I'm just at Matt Moscona on Instagram. I am going to post an Instagram video. Drew's therapist sent us a picture yesterday of him reading his sight words, and it's a big, big accomplishment. So
I look forward to seeing that later on my feed.
She's holding up the word, and he's reading them. And so she rolled through a bunch of them, and it was really good. So, okay, what are we watching?
Here's what we're watching this football weekend.
I always feel like I have more time.
I'm watching Oklahoma State TCU, Matt. Playoff implications in the Big 12 this weekend.
What time is that? 2:30?
2:30.
Yeah, I'm not watching that. Not at all. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, why would you? That's the 5th best game at 2:30. Why would you watch that one?
Playoff implications.
There's no playoff implications. Neither of those teams are going undefeated. I'm not interested at all in that game.
I'm watching.
No, you're not. You're going to watch Alabama, Tennessee.
That'll be on one TV. We'll have one on the other.
What else is in that 2:30 win? There's a bunch of good stuff.
Syracuse, NC State.
Nah, I ain't watching that either. They stink. Both those teams stink. What else? There's something. No, Michigan's 11 a.m.
Arkansas, BYU. But we're going to get to that.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that either. I'm just looking forward to the Arkansas frauds losing again, so I can laugh at them.
Okay.
There's something else in that 2:30 window. What am I missing?
I don't know. We said Bama, Tennessee. I don't know.
Son of a bugger. Oklahoma State, TCU, and NC State, Syracuse. I guess that was Arkansas. Yeah, okay. I guess those were the ones. Anyway, all right. Sorry. Hit it again.
Auga!
Jesus.
What is that?
Last week it was Peter Griffin. Now it's like the horn, the cartoon horn. Auga! Anyway, go ahead, Paulie.
All right. Michigan, Penn State. Top 10 matchup. Both undefeated. Both have Ohio State coming up on the schedule. This will start to make the Big Ten East a little bit more clear.
Could you name every team in the Big Ten East and the Big Ten West if you had to? Could you do the division?
No.
By division?
Yeah, by division.
Probably not, no.
Isn't that weird? Interim bump in Carolina. Matt Rule out. Steve Wilks in. Remember, Steve Wilks was a head coach before. One season in Arizona, 2018. They went 3-13, fired him, brought in Kingsbury. They drafted Kyler Murray. Something with Carolina. Things go down the drain. There could be some trade deadline talent available. Robbie Anderson, Christian McCaffrey, Derek Brown from Auburn, Brian Burns. There's some good players that might be available via trades. If this thing really goes south, they could try to acquire future assets for the next coach.
Speaking of the 2:30 window some more, Arkansas, you kind of brought it up there, Matt. 4 straight losses on deck for the Hogs, potentially. Don't know why they're going out to BYU. That just seems like an unnecessary road trip to make.
Especially in October.
Yeah. KJ Jefferson should be back for this one, though. Can they just bully BYU? Well, I'm interested to see it.
To the NFL, we're going to go Buffalo, Kansas City. This is a rematch of the AFC divisional round from last year. That was the game where, the Bills scored late, and then Kansas City kicked the field goal to go to overtime. Kansas City got the coin toss. Buffalo Bills never saw the ball. Sent Josh Allen packing. Rematch.
Cade York. Got to watch Cade York this week. There's legit pressure on him. Hit the game winner week 1 against Carolina, the 58-yarder. Since then, he missed an extra point week 2, missed an extra point week 3, and then last week missed 2 field goals, including the potential game winner against the Chargers. Cade York, there is serious heat being, built up against him right now in Cleveland. Dude's got to deliver.
Clemson's next test. Got to talk about it a little bit with Ross there. They'll go to Florida State this weekend. Do have a trip to Notre Dame remaining, but these are that's kind of the last 2. See if they can't get past Mike Norvell and Florida State on the road.
Sunday Night Football showdown between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Matt's guy, Cooper Rush.
Paul,
he is my guy.
Stop.
He is my guy. We've been guys for a long time.
Golly.
Looks like he's going to start for the Cowboys. NFC East lead on the line. And the Eagles remain unbeaten.
Is this Hendon Hooker's Heisman moment? In 2012, Johnny Manziel had his Heisman moment in a win against Bama. Remember the whoop-diddy-whoop run around pass? 2019, Joe Burrow. That was his. It might have been like an individual play, maybe the run late in the game, but beating Alabama, hanging half 100 on them in Bryant-Dennehy Stadium. That was Burrow's big, giant leap forward. Hendon Hooker's got a shot. He is 18th in the country in passing yards per game. He's 3rd in the country in QBR, behind only C.J. Stroud and Drake May. This could be Hendon Hooker's Heisman moment and Tennessee's ascension into the national elite if they get it done this weekend. And that is what we are watching this football weekend. Of course, you can bet on all of it at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet just $5 on any football game, and they will give you $200 in free bets if your team wins. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and be sure to use the promo code Baton Rouge. Remember, anybody can use those stepped-up same-game parlays. You got to opt in, and when you can increase up to 100% on your stepped-up same-game parlay. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. We've got Otter Locks coming up right after the break. Jimmy was 3-0 last night. He hit with the University of Louisiana at Lafayette plus 10.5. That was an outright winner, and he hit on his 2 baseball picks, including he had San Diego beating the Dodgers last night, money line. Your boy hit on all 3 of those. You better believe Jimmy's going to have some picks. Thursday night football, both NFL and college, maybe some MLB plays as well. Otter Locks is coming up, and you can bet on it at DraftKings. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus issued as free bets. 1 boost per eligible game. Opt-in required. Parlay and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/football terms. Licensee partner Golden Nugget Lake Charles. Gambling problem. Call 1-877-7-0-STOP.
AFR.
Every day we tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana. Better coverage for less money. Call 293-0450 or go to lainsurance.net. Legally, we all have to have insurance, and unfortunately, too many of us are overpaying and underinsured. And so often hear, well, but I know this company or I know my insurance agent. Is it worth paying more and being underinsured, being exposed? I was. Had State Farm from the moment I was able to drive. And I was woefully underinsured and overpaying. I was able to save $1,600 annually on my insurance coverage and quadruple my coverage. I went from state minimum to $100, $300 on my auto, added $1 million umbrella policy as well, and saved $1,600 a year. How much could you save? How much more coverage could you get? You won't know until you call 293-0450. 293-0450 or online at lainsurance.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
When I was a boy, I spent my days climbing trees, catching fish. Barefoot in the river I walked, listening to crickets, counting stars. This was home. After my stroke, I wondered if I'd make it back to the people and places I love. But I got the right doctors with Blue Cross coverage. Your card matters. Your home does too.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria.
All right, down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR, presented by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable, the incomprehensible, the Outfather himself, Jimmy Otter. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Astros the final yet?
No.
No, okay. Give me an out. Need an out.
I'm sorry. It's 4-2, top 9, 2 outs.
Okay.
Runner
All
on
right.
second.
Oh, no. Got that under 7. So we're trying to.
Okay. Well, you're good right now. We'll keep you posted. Hey, look, I know Hanny's in for you today.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to get the picks. Good luck to EJ and the Knights tonight for sure. But man, a lot of football tonight and baseball on top of it as well.
Who you? Me or Terrio? You pulling for a tie tonight? Who you got? Huh? Otter locks or kick rocks?
That's a great question.
Kick rocks.
And look, you also got you got Neil Weiner on one sideline as well. It's Calico Bear. So it's how about this? We have a tie and EJ gets like 2 interceptions and 4 sacks.
There we go. That'll work. That'll be great. And nothing. Washington and Chicago is a tough one. We killed Carson Wentz, and he killed me.
1 minute
He was
remaining.
my only loser at noon on Sunday. But he is in top 5 in passing, top 5 in touchdowns. He just has these catastrophic plays. But Chicago doesn't rush the passer very well, and he's been under the most pressure, the highest percentage of pressure rate in the league. But Justin Fields played his best ball of his young career at the last 2.5 quarters. I'm going to pass on that one. Randy McKay will have a pick at 7 o'clock on that one. I do like the college game in West Virginia, plus 3.5 at home. Losses to Texas and Kansas are not as damaging as we once thought, and they did take a ding to their point spread value because of it. So we're going to West Virginia in the early game that's ticking right now.
All right, Game Time with Jimmy Ott follows us. Good luck to the Knights tonight, Otter. We appreciate you, man.
Okay, thanks, man.
All right, man. Have a great one. Muse, Paulie, we appreciate y'all. Game Time from Jolie Pearl is next.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Michelli Weighing and Measurement. Michelli.com. Locations from sea to shining sea. You know where to find them online at Michelli.com. Get to the website. Remember, Michelli is hiring as well. So you go to the website, you hit the careers tab at the top. You can apply for the job that you're looking for. How about working for a locally owned and operated company? It's been around for 75 years. That's continued to grow and expand responsibly while maintaining their local ownership, their local feel. That's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. They are an ISO 17025 accredited laboratory, and they service all scale and measurement equipment makes and models. Would really highly recommend you go to the website and learn more about the services they offer and about the industries that they serve at Michelli Weighing and Measurement. When you comes to getting the job done, choose the partner you can trust. That's Michelli Weighing and Measurement online at Michelli.com, Michelli.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $11,000 off MSRP plus 2.9% with 72 months on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit.
Let's go, defense!
We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers. Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.